And welcome back to Alopecia in Life. My name is Christine. I'm grateful as always to have you with me. This episode is focused on the experience of weightlessness, and I'll tell you a little bit more of what I mean in the next few minutes, but I wanted you to think of weightlessness in the context of not having to think about not having hair. And the reason I say this is because, every week or every month for the last 12 months, I've been filming a video to talk about a specific experience of what alopecia is or has been for me. And in the hopes that my experiences can help you digest and heal from the experience that you've had losing your own hair. And this experience of weightlessness I haven't felt before in the last 14 years. And, it's something that I never really appreciated, I don't think, when I had hair, of what it's like to just wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and look at yourself and realize that it's you and nothing has changed and you're still the same person and you have your hair that you love and, you don't realize the things that, the little things that go into making you feel whole. And when we lose our hair, it's kind of a scramble to get that feeling back. And at least that's what it's been for me. And certainly I feel much more confident in myself and more beautiful and accepting and grateful for the person I am after having had alopecia and reflecting on what this experience has done to me in my life. But man, it's kind of a heavy thing, when I think back on these last 14 years and all of the videos that I've filmed talking about different aspects of alopecia, my God, I couldn't have come up with all this stuff to talk about before I started losing my hair. And it's a kind of a heavy thing. And so anyway, I had this experience, weightlessness. I had this experience just this morning where I went to a salon for the first time in 14 years. I have a good friend who referred me to her personal stylist. This good friend of mine also wears a wig, and she swears by this woman. And I said, okay, I'll give her a shot. And I have had some negative experiences before. You may have too, of going into a hairdresser's, giving them a picture, and saying, this is what I want. Before you lost your hair and after you lost your hair, we can all relate to these experiences where what you say to the stylist isn't necessarily translated into the haircut they give you. And so I had some trepidation, and I've lost a couple wigs in the past to really bad haircuts, and it's not something I wanted to go through again. So this weekend wig, this one that I've had for almost a year, and that I only wear on the weekends, I usually pull back because it was so heavy and just in my face all the time. And I was too afraid to get it cut by anyone because I just didn't want to risk it. But I scheduled this appointment, and within 15 minutes, the woman and I had come up with a plan of action. And I trusted her not just because my friend referred me to her, but also because she has worked on famous people's hair. She worked on Joan Rivers' hair and Ethan Hawke. She's also worked with Michelle Obama's professional stylist, which is like, how can you go wrong there? And also because she's worked on wigs. She has experience cutting wigs, and she can appreciate the fact that these babies aren't growing back. If you cut something wrong, you got to get right the first time. If you're gonna do a good job, it has to be perfect. So she can deal with that kind of pressure, and it's not just a wig she was dealing with this morning, it was me as well as her client. And so within 15 minutes, we talked, we came up with a game plan, and she went to work. And after 15 minutes of her working on my hair, I looked at myself in the mirror, and it was the first time in 14 years where I felt like Chris. Like I felt like myself. I felt like the girl who used to look at herself in the mirror and feel good about herself. I felt like, oh my gosh, this is the person, this is how I used to be. This is me, this is the me from 14 years ago, where I had long, healthy, beautiful hair. And I didn't have to think about alopecia. I had no idea alopecia was to come, had no idea what I'd be going through in the years since I had come down with alopecia. It was almost like a time capsule for me to have this experience at the salon, and then to open this time capsule and look at myself and my life as I used to be for 14 years ago. And I had such a good feeling. I felt beautiful. I felt confident. I felt excited. And I walked out of her salon and I intentionally drove down to Old Town Alexandria. It was 90 degrees in the heat. It is 90 degrees in the heat today. And I walked around up and down King Street. I walked around the wharf. I let the wind blow in my hair. I just loved feeling like my old self. And I never knew that a salon experience could be so wonderful, especially wearing a wig. And so this is the weightlessness that I'm trying to convey, just the sense of there is that possibility I've now discovered of being able to kind of feel like the person you were before you started losing your hair. And it just comes down to finding, apparently, a good wig and a good stylist. And so I wanted to share this with you because I'm not shameless about it. I feel like I'm so grateful to have had this experience. And I'm so glad now that I have this custom wig that I want to wear it all the time. I don't want to wear it just on the weekends because it was pretty unmanageable before. I feel like I could wear this every single day and feel like myself and not have to question it, not have to worry about what the hair looks like, and feel like me again. Just that weightlessness of feeling like me. And so I offer this experience to you. I offer her name to you. Her name is Alania Manuel. She works at Houghton Chic Salon or Houghton Chic Hair in Alexandria, and she's worked on wigs, as I mentioned. She's worked on some famous people's hair. She's worked on a friend of mine hairpiece, and she is a wonderful, wonderful person, very skilled at what she does. I'll be posting her contact information on my website, and I also mentioned her to you because when we were talking about the fact that I do these vlogs, specifically for people who have alopecia, she said she has connections. I wanted to know if she would be willing to be a resource for you guys if you ever had questions or the need to have your hair pieces or whatever hair you have left styled so that it looks nice. And she would be, I think, a great resource. She knows she has a lot of connections. She knows people across the country in different areas that she could refer. I'm not sure where you all live, but if there's ever a question you have about finding a stylist in your area, I know she would be happy to be a resource for you. And I would be more than happy to refer you guys to her because of just how wonderful it feels to feel like yourself, and how this feeling that I have right now, I just don't want it ever to go away. It feels wonderful. It feels so great, actually, that I'm taking myself out tonight. So I hope this is helpful for you, and I would encourage you to follow me on YouTube. Please also visit my website where I'll have Alania's contact information posted. You can find her at HoughtonChicHair.com. I'll spell that out, though, on my website, on my blog. Please also visit me on Facebook at Christine's Alopecian Life. And please also remember that there is definitely a lot of life to live and a lot of love to give, even when you don't have hair. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.